days and raining as we come inside Lambeau Field. The Green Bay Packers, the Minnesota Vikings, a battle for first place in the NFC Central. Al Michaels with Dan Dierdorf and Boomer Esiason. When last season ended, the Minnesota Vikings were a franchise in a state of flux. The author Tom Clancy tried to buy the team, couldn't put the deal together, and in came a Texas billionaire by the name of Red McCombs. He bought the team, and since then they've won all 4 preseason games, all 4 regular season games. They've extended Dennis Green's contract through 2001. He'll coach the team at least through then. That's a very good team playing a great team. Remember, the last time a fan left Lambeau Field with a long face, September 3rd, 1995. Since then, the Green Bay Packers have won 25 regular season and 4 postseason games at home. Something gives tonight. Packers and the Vikings from Green Bay will kick it off after this.
Sprint presents the short call of the week. To cast your vote, watch the following plays and call 1-800-749-5681 or visit ESPN.com. In Buffalo, Rob Johnson's perfect fade pass from the 5 helped the Bills to their first win of the season. The Jets' Keyshawn Johnson used his 6-inch height advantage to snare this 10-yard TD reception in a critical AFC East win, while Eric Kramer and Fabian Bones connected on this 6-yard TD pass to cap a 21-point fourth quarter, giving the Bears their first win of the year.
In a world where every second counts, a quick call can make a big difference.
Cordell, I think the safety will bite on the play action.
All right. Try. Thanks, Bob.
That's why now all calls under 30 seconds are free. Introducing Sprint Cents Anytime, where all calls are a dime a minute and calls under 30 seconds are on our dime. Call 1-800-PIN-DROP for Sprint Cents Anytime.
Thanks, Bob.
The right people, the right parts, the right prices. Quality Care Fall Value Days at participating Ford and Lincoln Mercury dealers. For Ford, Mercury, or Lincoln cars, Motorcraft shocks are just $69 per pair installed. On Ford light-duty trucks, just $99 per pair installed. For the care your vehicle deserves and the parts it needs, bring it to the folks who know it best.
At your service, Quality Care. I hope I see you there.
Almost ready for the kickoff. First, let's go down to the field and Leslie Visser. Leslie.
Al, he does have a winning record against Mike Holmgren, but a much maligned secondary. Denny, how are you going to limit Brett Favre?
I think the big thing, we'll try to focus on shutting down that run and then try to get ourselves in a position where we can make some plays. You know, we lead the National Football League in interceptions. An interception is worth 100 yards passing, in my opinion.
Thank you, Denny. Shutting down the run, that's a new theory against the Packers. Back to you, Al.
All right, thank you, Leslie, as Mitch Berger gets ready to kick off in the rain. And back to receive the rookie Roel Preston and Bill Schrader. Preston ran a kickback for a touchdown in a preseason game. And then against Detroit on opening day, he ran a kickback 100 yards for a regular season touchdown. And here we go from Lambeau Field with Preston hauling it in at the 3, behind a wedge, and taken down up at the 25-yard line. Nice tackle made there by Pete Bursich. Brett Favre in quest of a 4th consecutive MVP award. Off to a brilliant start this year, on a pace to throw 40 touchdowns with 10 through 4 games. In the backfield with him, you've got Raymond Harris and William Henderson. Freeman and Brooks outside, and Chamorro is the tight end. Then up front, Verba, Rivera, Winters, Timmerman, and Dotson, the offensive line. And on the kickoff, Jeff Thomason, one of the Green Bay special teams players, and a backup tight end needs some attention. And the Packers can ill afford the loss of somebody like a Thomason. If there's been one small chink in the Green Bay armor this season, it's been on special teams. It gives us a moment to take a look at the defense now for the Minnesota Vikings. Colonnade starts with Ball, Williams, and as Dan mentioned during the pregame show, Randall moving from tackle to end and back and forth. Edwards, McDaniel, and Rudd are the linebackers, and the suspect secondary, Fuller, Hitchcock came over from New England, then Griffith and Thomas. And it's a secondary that's been burned a lot, but they've also intercepted a lot of passes this year.
Yeah, it leads you to believe that they're willing to gamble and go for the pick, but I don't think that
anybody on the Minnesota side of the field is happy with the way their deep coverage has been so far this year, Boomer.
Well, especially they had 2 home games which were blowouts, so they had a lot of balls thrown against them. So sometimes that skews the statistics. But the thing that Denny Green said at the top of the show was that 11 turnovers are forced by his defense. They're +7. That's why they're 4-0. And 7 of those, actually 8 of those have been interceptions. So he feels very confident about the big playability of his secondary. This will be an interesting test tonight because of the weather right now.
Well, Thomason still getting the attention after the opening kickoff, and we'll be back in a moment.
Blue night, set. Hut, hut, hut.
In a world where every second counts, a quick call can make a big difference.
Cordell, I think the safety will bite on the play action. Try.
All right. Thanks, pal. White night, set.
That's why now all calls under 30 seconds are free. Introducing Sprint Sense Anytime, where all calls are a dime a minute and calls under 30 seconds are on our dime. Call 1-800-PIN-DROP. Because when you get Sprint Sense Anytime, all of your calls are just 1 unrestricted dime a minute.
They want to know when you're going to join the team.
Make me an offer.
Anytime to anywhere.
Yeah, you coming to dinner Sunday?
I've got a game on Sunday, pal.
That wasn't a question, son.
I'll see you later.
Call now to sign up for Sprint Sense Anytime. Every call is just a dime a minute, and calls under 30 seconds are free. Call 1-800-PIN-DROP for Sprint Sense Anytime.
Thanks, Pop.
Introducing the all-new 1999 Grand Am. Its solid form design provides a stronger body structure so you can get down to some exciting business with hardly a squeak.
Solid.
Excitement, well built. The all-new Grand Am by Pontiac.
All right, we can take a look right here. As you see Jeff Thomason on the wedge, and Kibusama Mays are going to hit head-to-head right here. And this is what's calling taking the wedge on head first. And right there, Jeff Thomason looks like he loses a little bit of consciousness, I would imagine.
Well, the good news is, Boomer, he walked off. He had his arm over the training staff, but he looked to be semi in control.
So first down, Travis Jervey is in the backfield, and the pass is caught by Antonio Freeman. So with Dorsey Levens gone, and he'll be gone probably until late November or early December, and Raymond Harris having done most of the work out of the backfield. Jervey is now healthy, had a bad hamstring last week, and we figure to see quite a bit of Travis tonight.
Jervey didn't even play, and he brings a speed and an explosiveness to the Packer running game that Raymond Harris can't. Harris brings the experience, the power, but the pizzazz belongs to Jervey.
Well, here is on 2nd and 3, Raymond Harris, a little bit of pizzazz there after the 43-yard line. And when your line blocks like that, you can look pizzazzy, can't you?
That's what that was.
And I would imagine that Raymond Harris is tired of hearing about Dorsey Levens and how they can't run the football. He certainly wants to make a statement tonight. Everybody in the NFL is watching to see a great lead block, that time by William Henderson. And that's the type of things that, the Packers got to get back to if they want to run the ball successfully.
1st and 10 at the 43-yard line. Favre stepping off to his right and hitting Harris up to the 50-yard line. Remember, Raymond Harris last year over 1,000 yards with the Bears before his season ended with a broken leg. And then it's ironic, Edgar Bennett was here, but with Levens as the ace guy, Bennett decides to sign with Chicago. That makes room for Harris to go someplace else, and Raymond winds up here.
He's been in the league 5 years, Al. Remember when he first got started with the Bears, the phrase ultra back, because Raymond Harris could do just about anything, and Dave Wanstead started calling him that.
But he couldn't stay healthy. No. 2nd down and 2.
You can hear Brett Favre up here audibling to a pass play.
So they go to a split back formation, and the catch is made by Robert Brooks, who had back surgery this summer, and because of that, Brooks doesn't practice. He does not practice during the week, but he plays on Sundays and Mondays.
The amazing aspect of that, Al, is just that their timing is still there, even though he's not practicing. And Brett has done a great job of just throwing the ball and keeping it low down here. This is where the receivers like it.
from the 38-yard line on the opening drive of the game. Harris, and he gets backed up just as he crosses the line of scrimmage, hit first by Dixon Edwards, the linebacker.
You know, Dan, we saw that Green Bay ran the ball right up the middle, and John Randall's at right end. And you and I have gone back and forth about this. Why is John Randall at right end as opposed to inside as a tackle? And as a player, when I was playing against John Randall and the Minnesota Vikings, I wanted him far away from me.
Well, Fos Fazio, the defensive coordinator, is giving this a whirl, putting him out at end. I'm with you. I think he's much more easily accounted for out at defensive end. You can chip him with a back. You can run away from him. I don't understand it, but he's the coach and we're not.
Second down and 9, and this is Travis Jervey, who's the fastest guy on the team, to the 27-yard line. A flag is down. A penalty marker is down back at the 37. Our first flag of the game, and the referee tonight is Jerry Austin.
Holding, number 52 of the offense, 10 yards, repeat, second down.
Center Frank Winters.
And when you stick John Randall out at the end, that time they ran right at him, which is something that Mike Holmgren said that he wants to do. He doesn't want to give him a chance to pursue because he's so quick. But when he's in the middle, it usually takes 2 guys to block him.
When you take guys with extraordinary quickness like Randall, and that time he's pinned to the inside by Verba, and a classic look at the hold right there in the middle of your screen, and takedown by Frank Winters. Lawrence Taylor, Randy White, Alan Page, the guys who've had extraordinary quickness and pursuit in this league, your best chance of success was to go right at them. Pursuit is what they did better than anything else.
So second and 20, negating an 11-yard gain. Favre gets sacked, taken down by Derek Alexander, their #1 draft choice in '96 out of Florida State. Got him around the ankles and sets up a 3rd and a mile.
Well, and that's just a good old-fashioned grinding sack. Alexander's on the inside. He just keeps driving and driving and driving against Marco Rivera, and then at the last minute, it's all field. Watch him drive. There at the top of your screen. Now watch the spin right there. He sensed that Favre was to his inside. He did a spin back in there, and Brett Favre had no shot.
3rd down and 26. That's Freeman in motion. They have to convert to the 28-yard line for a first down, and only to the 43 goes Derek Mays. So 4th and 15, and in comes the punting group. Game's opening drive. It rained a good part of the day, and slow in getting up for the Vikings is the linebacker Dwayne Rudd. Dennis Green and his team quartered in Appleton nearby today. It rained most of the day. The field, though, was covered until about 2.5 hours before the game, and they expect a steady rain throughout the game.
Well, after watching that game last night on ESPN, we know that rain comes in many shapes and sizes.
Now, I was talking to Sean Landetta this morning about the rain and the wind, and he said when you have to make a long kick, you try to drive it and make sure you kick it away from the guy that's receiving it. And if it lands on the ground and gets wet and slippery, that's exactly what he wants to get done. But in this situation, I think a pooch kick is probably what's in order here.
Landetta's punted for 14 years in this league, 3 in the USFL. I asked him today, what are you going to do when you have to get a real job? He said, God forbid. Landetta drops that one into the end zone.
And that was not doing his job very well.
He overswung.
Yes, he did.
Just like you do with your drives.
Yeah, but when I overswing, they don't go straight.
That pup was a dog. Out it comes to the 20.
Some people buy cut-rate car insurance figuring they'll probably never have a claim. But then, something goes wrong, and there's no State Farm agent to turn to for help. So, the choice is yours. Go with a State Farm agent who will be there for you, or go it alone.
Any cook worth his apron knows that when you sop up the bacon grease with a paper towel, you also sop up a good reason for eating bacon. A man wastes nothing. The only thing that should be absorbing that golden flavor is his lucky mouth. That's the high life. That is Miller time.
Hi, I'm Robert Brooks, wide receiver for the Green Bay Packers. When I take the Lambeau League, I know the fans will support me, but some people need more help, and that's where the United Way comes in. Here in Green Bay and across the country, there are women and children who are battered and abused, and they need a place to keep them safe from domestic violence. That's why I'm joining with many NFL players, our fans, and the United Way contributors to help stop domestic violence. Together, the NFL and the United Way are building better communities for all of us.
Randall Cunningham, in his second season with Minnesota, took over when Brad Johnson was hurt. The end of the second week has guided them to 2 complete game victories, and with him in the backfield, Robert Smith, over 1,000 yards last year. Charles Evans, the blocker. Reed and Carter outside. We'll see a lot of Moss as well. Glover, the tight end. Susie, McDaniel, Christie, Dixon, and Stringer. Very good interior 5. From the 20-yard line, Cunningham to put it up on first down, and the pass is underthrown Chris Carter's way, and there's a flag down in the secondary. 19 yards downfield, they throw a flag. Reed and Tyrone Williams were involved in that area. And it goes against Green Bay.
I would say that Chris Carter got away with one there. You see, he actually gets out here and pulls Newsome by him.
And that actually wasn't the penalty that was called.
Right.
The penalty that was called was on the far side of the field.
White, Dotson, Brown, and Holiday, the defensive line for Green Bay. Kuntz, Bernardo Harris, and Brian Williams, with Newsome, Williams, Butler, and Sharper in the secondary. Their defense this year has been terrific. And on 1st and 5, it is 1st and 10. Robert Smith gets stopped at the line of scrimmage by Brian Williams. Robert Smith, everybody knew this guy had a lot of talent. He was a #1 pick a few years ago. The thing about Smith, though, is the durability factor. And then last year, he was able to stay healthy much of the season. He's probably the fastest guy on the team.
93, it was a knee. 94, he played 14 games. In 95, it was in an ankle. 96, it was a knee again. But Al, over 5 yards a carry when this guy's healthy.
2nd down and 10. I said probably the fastest guy. The only other guy would be Randy Moss. 2nd down and 10, and Cunningham launches one, and there is Randy Moss. There's a flag down. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but there's a penalty marker down to the 19-yard line.
And this is coming back.
I'll tell you, Mike Pryor, number 39, the safety for the Green Bay Packers, misplayed that ball. I'll tell you, they obviously caught a big break right here, but you could just see the power that Randall Cunningham still has in his arm.
And Jerry Austin's microphone didn't work right there, and one of those linemen is really happy. Let's see if we can see it.
It's right here on the end.
Well, it looks like Todd Stussy, the left tackle, made a tackle. Look at that acceleration boom.
But you could see Pryor actually had a beat on the ball and just misplayed it. Woo. He's saying thank goodness.
I am a lucky guy.
That's exactly right.
And Fritz Shermer just watching Minnesota's 75-yard would-be touchdown pass go a-wasting. And it is 2nd down and 20 from the 15-yard line. Good protection, and Cunningham's going to go deep again. Double coverage this time, and knocked away at the last instant. Robert Tate was the intended receiver, and Leroy Butler was there along with Pat Terrell.
This is like punt, pass, and kick right here. What is going on? Randall does have a habit of throwing the ball down the middle, I will tell you that, and he gets away with it because of the athleticism of his receivers. This ball had no business going down the middle of the field like this.
Well, one thing I think this still shows that Leroy Butler, 9 years in the league at strong safety, still has his legs. He is right there, maybe a half-second early, but Leroy can still motor.
You better hold on if you're a secondary player, because that ball's coming, boys.
3rd down and 20 from the 15-yard line. And Randall's going to launch another one, and it is Moss who can't make the catch. Single covered by Darren Sharper. And there's another flag down up at the 38-yard line. This was a 3rd and 20, and it's going to go against the Packers.
And that'll
Illegal contact. Number 37 of the defense. 5 yards. Automatic first down.
5 yards, but it may as well have been 20 yards because it's an automatic first down after a 3rd and 20.
Tyrone Williams, number 37. He's working against Chris Carter. And the contact after the 5 yards. And actually, you know, Chris Carter is a type of receiver, Boomer. He'll initiate the contact every time.
He will not back down. And really, as a quarterback, you love to see that because you know that he is going to give you space.
What it looked like, though, I think the official, it looked like Williams was going to fall down, and he kind of pulled himself upright again by grabbing onto Carter.
Second such call already on Williams 6 minutes into the game. From the 20-yard line back to the ground with Robert Smith. He takes it up to the 25-yard line. He's stopped there by the middle linebacker Bernardo Harris.
You know, both of these quarterbacks, guys, you as a secondary player, you have to be so alert, and you cannot take your eye off of the guy that you're covering thinking that they're going to get sacked in the backfield. They both possess the arm to throw it up down the field, and there are receivers on both sides of the football that will come down with it.
2nd and 6. He took a look at the Reverend Reggie White. Remember, Reggie was thinking about retiring in the offseason. Had even called a press conference. Smith to the outside and gets tackled about 2 yards shy of the first down. Leroy Butler makes the stop. But Reggie not only has not retired, he's playing brilliantly. He was serious about it until God interceded. In fact, Santana Dotson was on his way for the retirement ceremony.
And I think a lot of people in the Packer organization were looking forward to Reggie retiring. Not because they wanted to get rid of him, but they knew that it was a struggle for him even to play at an average level. What a rejuvenation for this future Hall of Famer.
Now, this is a formation that the Packers are going to have a tough time defending. No backs in the backfield, 4 wide receivers.
And they give it to David Palmer on an end around, and the versatile one picks up a first down to the 34. So with Minnesota, you've got Smith, you've got the great wideouts, and then you've got a kid like Palmer who comes in and does things like that.
Give a lot of credit to Brian Billick, the offensive coordinator for the Vikings. I mean, he's been there quite some time now. He takes chances. You know, these guys are not going to try to protect their quarterbacks like we've seen in the last couple of weeks. They're going to let the offense flow. And Denny Green says that, you know, basically the way they're going to win is if they get into a shootout, they can win this game.
Wouldn't you love to be a coordinator, though, on a team with that much talent?
Wouldn't you love to be a player and have that kind of coaching?
First down from the 34-yard line. No score. 7 minutes to go in the period. Pressure on Cunningham, who throws, and it's caught by Moss, and he's pushed out by Newsom. That's a gain of 7. And let's check in with Leslie.
Al, it's not Kansas City North, but it is pretty rugged out here. As you know, it's been raining all day. Minnesota, which of course plays in the Dome, they switched from half-inch cleats to 3/4 of an inch cleats. The Packers said they didn't have to change anything. Lambeau Field, which is 41 years old this year, has a gravel drainage system, and they say it's terrific. Al.
All right. In a game like this, you wonder if you're even aware of the elements.
Not very much. And it's not enough of a rain, I think, to really alter the performance here too much.
2nd down and 3 from the 40-yard line.
It's just not that horizontal rain.
No. And the screen is set up for Robert Smith. First down into Green Bay territory, and he takes it to the 45-yard line. Tackled there by Kuntz and Butler. 14-yard gain. Robert Smith coming into the game, to show you the difference between the running games of these teams. Green Bay as a team averaging 2.6 yards a rush. Smith averaging 5.1, 4/10 more than the yield on the 30-year Treasury.
There is the foot of Brad Johnson, normally the starting quarterback. He has a fractured right fibula. He's hoping to be back later this month.
1st and 10 from the 45. And here is Smith picking up 3, and Dennis Green making sure that we knew last night that there is no quarterback controversy in Minnesota.
Yeah, well.
No matter when Brad is ready to come back, and you know, when you're paying Brad Johnson that much money, he is the quarterback.
I don't really buy that. I mean, I love to hear that as a coach, that, you know, you don't lose your job because of injury. But if your team is moving the ball and Randall Cunningham's playing well, and we talked about Randall understanding his role, but you know, the way they're moving the ball and the way he's throwing the football, if they keep winning, it would be really hard to change.
You really think so?
I think it would be.
Second down and 7. Cunningham throws, and that's off the fingertips of Jake Reed, who's been a little bit of the forgotten man this year, with Moss coming in and Carter being Carter. Reed's only caught 9 balls this year. Monday Night Football is being brought to you by Sprint. For all the ways you communicate, Sprint keeps you connected to your world. Pontiac, driving excitement, and your local Pontiac dealers. State Farm Insurance, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And Dr. Pepper, and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Dr. Pepper, this is the taste.
Boomer, I just don't think you can lose sight of the fact that Randall's 35 years old.
Yeah, but you're trying to win now, and you want to. If your team's going, I don't think you want to mess that up.
What he gives you, though, is the luxury of letting Brad Johnson get completely healthy before he comes back.
Absolutely.
3rd and 7, and Leroy Horde is the tailback. They fake it to him, and then the pass is caught by Carter, who is dragged down by Tyrone Williams. Chris Carter, someday he will be in camp.
Hey, you know, Mike, excuse me, Dan, I watching Randall throw the football, it doesn't matter how old you are. What matters is, are you moving the football team? Is the football team winning with you? And obviously, so far we've seen, I mean, he's throwing balls. He's thrown 3 deep balls. He's thrown corner patterns right here. The ball's right on the money. It's tight coverage. You can see, I mean, he's moving this football team. How do you replace that guy if he continues to play this way?
Good question. I'm sure Denny Green will be thrilled to hear about your comments. There's no quarterback controversy, but you're trying like heck to start one.
Here's Smith swinging to the outside, and it's a 3-yard pickup. He's run out of bounds by Williams.
Let's just close it by saying this. We have seen teams already this year that don't have one good quarterback. What a luxury Dennis Green has here in Minnesota.
Oh, absolutely. I don't think you ever want to, you know, paint yourself and put yourself in a corner and say this is the way it's going to be. Because things change in the NFL week to week, situation to situation. And you even said it, he does have the luxury of having both of these guys.
2nd down and 7, good-looking drive for the Vikings, their 2nd drive of the night. 4:05 left in the scoreless first period, and that is knocked away at the last moment. Double coverage provided. Greg DeLong, one of their tight ends, and Leroy Butler again knocking it away.
When you're a quarterback, Dan, and you drop back in the pocket, you have to find out where Leroy Butler is. He is going to watch you. He's going to watch your eyes, and he's going to try to break on the ball. That time he took a chance because he let the post go over top of him. And he saw Randall's eyes, and he knew that he was looking right for number 85 and DeLong, and he jumped on it. So you have to be really careful and find out where he is.
3rd and 7. And a pump fake, and then the ball is given to David Palmer, and David Palmer can only take it to the 15-yard line, where he's a little short of the first down, but short enough they'll have to send in the field goal unit.
But we've seen the Minnesota offense, and we've seen screens, we've seen sweeps, we've seen bombs, we've seen little short passes. I mean, they have a full repertoire of all of those things. And that's what I'm talking about, not protecting his quarterback. He's letting his quarterback play in the game to make decisions and make plays.
Gary Anderson, 250th game, hasn't missed a placement or a field goal this year. Gary with more field goals than anybody in the history of the National Football League. And this is a 33-yard attempt, and he is still perfect. Gary has spent much of his career with the Pittsburgh Steelers. So they cash in for 3, and Minnesota takes the lead late in the first.
Wouldn't you rather have something under the hood than on it? Now you can with this limited time offer on the Bonneville SLE Special Edition. With these aggressive looks and this attractive value, it's one performance you won't want to miss. Luxury with attitude. The Bonneville by Pontiac. See your local Pontiac dealer today.
We come here on a glorious quest. A search for that which can be found nowhere else. Where? In the trenches where mighty men clash amidst the echoes of glory's past, high atop Olympus. Oh, this is our quest. This is what football is all about. Now all I gotta do is find that nacho guy.
If you're looking to save big coin on tires, then roll into Sears for the Big Tire Roundup. Great prices on brand names for whatever you drive. Like the Michelin Plus 80. Save $20 to $28 on a set of 4 with an 80,000-mile limited tread wear warranty. You'll find thousands of tires in stock, and only Sears carries the top 5 brands, including BF Goodrich, Firestone, and Goodyear. Sears, your smart stop for tires and batteries.
ABC Tuesday, the Taylors are back and looking real pine.
Honestly, what do you think?
It's kind of a lumber jacket.
Yeah.
Home Improvement, ABC Tuesday.
Monday Night Football Online is inside the game with live action, interviews, post-game analysis, and live polls on the web at ESPN.com.
Lambeau Field in Green Bay on this Monday night. One of these teams will be 5-0 at the end of the game, and in first place all alone atop the NFC Central. The kick is taken at the 5-yard line by Roel Preston. A pass to 20. And then he's run out of bounds up at the 32-yard line by Torian Gray. .302 left in the opening quarter. Minnesota 3, Green Bay nothing.
Is there a problem? Well, it's the road up there. It's wet, slippery, sharp curves. Never know what's going to pop up in front of you. Go ahead.
Well, what about him?
Yeah, he's got StabiliTrak.
Seville STS with StabiliTrak, the world's most advanced integrated stability control system. It's what's next.
Gonna let me go? Sorry, I was lost in the moment.
Seville STS, it's what's next.
Sometimes the biggest ideas are the hardest to grasp. Divx, the best way to watch movies at home. Sometimes the biggest ideas are the hardest to grasp. Divx, the best way to watch movies at home.
Let's start with the brewmaster for just a moment. The brewmaster is the chef, and that is the key brewmaster role, to understand the blending of his or her ingredients. Not only he or she tastes the beer every day, there's another person who tastes the beer every day, and that is me. The ability to have hands-on brewmasters working with the finest ingredients gives you Budweiser.
Tuesday on Spin, look out.
It's not like walking on the moon.
Mike?
Cover model Heidi Klum sends Mike into orbit. Spin City, ABC Tuesday.
Coming up on Saturday on ABC, Notre Dame against Arizona State, Penn State against Minnesota, Nebraska also featured against Texas A&M, Georgia Tech, and North Carolina State. Check your local listings for regional action. Play resumes here. This is William Henderson, the fullback, who makes the catch and takes it up to the 43-yard line, and very close to a first down. Nothing, guys, like coming to Lambeau Field on a Monday night. We'll have the Packers 3 times this year, but this will be our only visit here. But it's special. Still very special.
And Boomer, I know you felt the same way as a player. Just never, ever will I forget the first time I walked through the tunnel onto that field.
We have wind up here and we have everything, but this is really a great place to play football. I've had some very great, good memories here that ended up, in bad situations, but it really is a wonderful place to come and see a football game. All NFL fans should take a spot to come here.
It reminds players of my era, though. We have to think back to the Packers were really bad for a long time.
Sure.
They were so good and so dominant in the 60s, and then until this recent spate under Mike Holmgren, there was a long dry spell in between.
Well, you win Super Bowl I, Super Bowl II, and then you don't win another one until 31.
And a lot of things have changed since your era.
Now, don't start with that, players of my era. Now, don't start with that now.
First down from the 43-yard line. First and 10. A minute 45 remaining in the opening quarter. Travis Jervey in the backfield, and that's incomplete, intended for Antonio Freeman. Brett Favre. The thing about Favre is not only what he does on the field, but he would seem to have the kind of demeanor, Boomer, that this is a guy who'll never become a fat cat, who'll always love to play. He may win 5 or 6 MVP awards.
You know, he's great. I'll tell you, he has such a personality about him. It's infectious. The way he practices, he's at the facility before everybody else at 7:30 in the morning. He's tackling dummies in practice as well.
Well, he's playing in a rivalry, as you just saw, that is unbelievably close on second down. And the pass is caught in Minnesota territory by Antonio Freeman, who gets taken down by Robert Griffith at the 40-yard line.
You know, to go back to Brett Favre for a second now, he has all the intangibles that any quarterback would love to have. He has a fire and inspiration about him. He exudes leadership in the huddle. He has such a nice touch when he throws the ball. If I had to compare him, he is more of a vertical passer than he is like a shallow cross passer. He wants to throw the ball downfield. He wants to take chances, and his coach loves him to do that.
Final minute of the quarter. First down at the 40-yard line.
Check. Black to the jet.
He's audibling again now at the line of scrimmage.
And he's under pressure.
John Randall.
And throwing, and it's incomplete, intended for Antonio Freeman through the hands of Torian Gray after Favre was chased by John Randall.
Randall's picture is next to the word chaos in the dictionary, and that is a very good illustration of what he can do to your offensive plans.
It looks like he has his Halloween Batman mask on right there.
He's got, watch this, he's out there at end again, going to start on Verba, and then he goes flying into Rivera, and he ends up whipping both of them in a matter of about a half a second.
But you know that was a 3-step drop that Brett didn't throw, so the offensive lineman let him go.
Second down and 10 at the 40-yard line. And they give it to Jervey, and he has some room through the middle, and he picks up about 9, maybe even a first down. He appears to be a little short. You know, there was a graphic we just want to bring back for 1 second, which we brought up. It's worth looking at. This is a rivalry that started a number of years ago, and a rivalry could not be as close as this one. Not only are these teams even in facing each other, there it is, with each team 500 at home, 500 on the road, but look at the yardage through the years, how close that is.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine you could do that.
Unbelievable. 24 yards separating these teams, going all the way back to the beginning of this rivalry in 60. Favre throws, there's contact in the secondary. Crown wants a flag, don't get it.
Now wait a minute, Boomer, you and I are backing up here a play.
Yeah, okay, what's the problem?
When John Randall got the pressure on Brett Favre, are you saying that it was a 3-step drop, so the lineman let him go?
No, he audibled to a 3-step drop.
Yeah.
And the lineman know that the ball's going to get, quickly. It's going to get out of there quickly.
Yeah.
So it's all timing in their head. They're thinking that the ball's gone.
So they think they only have to pass protect for a second and a half?
That's what they'll tell their coach in the meetings tomorrow.
Boomer. You never sat in on an offensive lineman.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you guys always blame it on the quarterback.
Try to get back to reality as quickly as possible.
Second down and 10, final play of the quarter coming up. It's a screen. It's Jervey, and he takes it to the 22-yard line, a little short of the first down. So Green Bay marching as the quarter ends. At the end of 1, Minnesota 3, Green Bay nothing. And Monday Night Football resumes from Lambeau Field after this message and a word from our ABC station.
On weekends, the game comes alive. And after days of constant training and careful preparation, these weekend warriors are now ready for what lies ahead. A 48-hour carnival of contact that will challenge the mind, body, and soul forever. Introducing AT&T 5-cent weekends. 5 cents a minute, anytime, anywhere. Let the calls begin.
Hello? Is there a problem? Well, it's the road up there. It's wet, slippery, sharp curves. Never know what's going to pop up in front of you. Go ahead.
Well, what about him?
Yeah, he's got StabiliTrak.
Seville STS with StabiliTrak, the world's most advanced integrated stability control system. It's what's next.
Gonna let me go? Sorry, I was lost in the moment.
Seville STS. It's what's next.
Miami meets Jacksonville for the first time. The game takes one night. The bragging rights are forever. Next Monday at 8 on ABC.
The all-new Mitsubishi Galant. Totally new styling, nicely equipped at $17,990.
After the game, how this man saved his drowning neighbor.
Rainy night in northeastern Wisconsin and Green Bay, where it's rained all day. Right now, a light rain and a good first quarter. We start the second quarter. Al Michaels with Dan Deerdorf, Boomer Esiason, and Leslie Visser. Dennis Green, the recipient of a contract extension. We mentioned at the top, Red McCombs, the new owner of the team, and it looked like he was not going to necessarily extend it early on, and then before the start of the regular season,